Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Viv.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Bronze.
Yeah, it is Thursday, the 19th of June, 2025. Still on the Teacup, episode 19.
Actually, I tell you what, I'm gonna start it on a really bizarre place, but it's only because I sent you something.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And it was a bit of fun. And actually, then I don't know. I ended up sending it to you, sending it to a couple of other people. Yeah, so I'm going to say I've been shocked because. So I'm going to say I'm talking about PORN on YouTube on a site that any kid can get into it with. I think from 3 years old or something crazy like that you can have a YouTube account, whatever it is. And so I'd sent this. It was cleaning your kitchen or something like that, and it was something that was in my feed, and it had no picture to it, and I clicked. I don't know why I clicked on it. I guess curiosity, whatever. It doesn't really matter. There was no picture. It was just I think it was a pattern. I think clicked on it, and I was welcomed by a lady cleaning her kitchen. That was true, but she was dressed, but what she was dressed in was absolutely see-through, and she had nothing else on. And at my age, I would consider what I'd just seen to be hardcore PORN, because you could see everything. So I'm not trying to turn this. I'm trying to be as gentlemanly about this as possible, and try not to snigger about it, because Viv had said a couple of weeks ago about that thing being a kind of why blokes are coming over to this country, and I thought, suddenly shivered about the wider implications and all the things we talk about every week, but just because I'm a guy, they'll send me particular things to my feed, and you, Bronze, you'll get particular, or no, you won't because you don't have an account, but anyone that's got a YouTube account, whatever, it'll remember things you've looked at, so you'll get things that are sent to you. And I suddenly realised that the amount of mums and dads, perhaps, that will have no ever idea that these things are out on YouTube, because that won't be ever sent to their feed. They might find it themselves or whatever, or blah blah blah, but these things would be sent to particular people to get particular people watching it. And I noticed how many views that thing had, and it's bigger. It's that one video made me realise how much of that was on YouTube. It's crazy, man.
Well, I've got a few things to say about this. First of all, some channels are age restricted. So me, as not having a YouTube channel, certain videos I go to watch, for some reason or other, sometimes that it's asking me to sign in to confirm my age.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay, so there is some restriction on that side of things. With regards to the video, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to call it hardcore. Not by today's standards, especially.
Not by today's standards, no.
It was like you said, it was about cleaning a floor, right? And that was all of the subject matter of the video was about how to clean your floor. I'm going to clean my floor today, right? And it was a woman dressed in like a see-through negligee with nothing on, and just kind of, cleaning her floor and sticking her bum up in the air. You can see everything. I didn't actually watch the whole thing, but no. I presume there wasn't anything more serious than her just showing her bits off, really.
No, that was it, really. A bit of...
And also the voice, it had the voice narrating over it. That was AI. That was absolutely AI.
Sure.
That wasn't a normal human doing narration. So it made me think, okay, is this whole video could be AI?
That's exactly where I went, actually. Go on, yeah.
But also, yes, I think I've no idea. I've never come across that kind of content on YouTube myself, so I couldn't speak to how much of it is on there. There is obviously quite a lot of shit stuff on there, but an interesting angle was that I can't remember who it was now, as usual, but I was listening to some guys talking about AI, and there was this thing about it where if it was a topic that AI didn't want to discuss, or to do anything, if you typed in something you wanted AI to do or asked it a question, and it was a particularly dodgy request, AI wouldn't do it. Okay.
Right.
But they found out that if you type it in, I think it was like Hindi or Gujarati, one of these Indian languages. Okay. If you translated from English into is either one of those two languages and then copy and pasted that into AI, it would do it. Okay.
Holy shit! Right.
And they were speculating. It's like, yeah, because all these the guys who, all these tech guys who do all the coding for AI are Indian, so it's kind of like a loophole for them.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering, because also I noticed that video was also on an Indian channel. The guy, the channel who it was on was some Indian guy, and that's why I made that connection. I kind of thought, oh, I wonder if there's anything to that.
Well, yeah, so I did some research in the as a healthy man would do. No, genuinely, I did some research, and it's funny enough. There's a lot of it, and they're all in. I'm glad you picked up on it. It was all Indian channels, and if there are any mums and dads that do listen to this, I mean, obviously, be careful with this sort of stuff. But I think everyone should know, if you just type into your YouTube floor cleaning or transparent floor cleaning, that's probably where I ended up going, and it's even worse, guys and girls. You need to I think we all need to know that these things are out there. It's forewarned, or whatever the saying is. And again, I'm not even trying to be a prude here. I'm not trying to say, oh my goodness, we should not have, not by any stretch, but I think there's times and places, and I also think this is where we need to have a much more grown-up conversation about the internet, about how how children access the internet, and if it is going to be for children, then as a human race, we've damn well got to make sure it's viable for children, because we can see how we've destroyed our fucking youth.
Well, it's kind of the same argument that used to be had over TV, with kids. It's like, they used to have in this country at least what they called the 9 o'clock watershed, where they couldn't broadcast anything with explicit violence or language or nudity or anything before 9 o'clock because of children. And it was all about parental guidance. It was all about the parents saying to their children, yes, you can watch it. You can only watch it for 2 hours, or you have to stop watching now, or whatever. And the internet is kind of the same, but on a different dimension, I think. And
true.
And to be sure, I mean, YouTube is a huge platform. It's massive. So I'm sure there's all sorts of nasty stuff on it. How it gets on and how it stays on, I don't know. Either they whoever's in charge of it allows it on, or that they just find the people putting it on just find loopholes and ways to get around the restrictions. But no doubt it's there, and I'm sure like just kind of this sort of sex stuff isn't just that either, if you know where I'm going as well.
Well, that's the wider story about this, is that I suppose you've hit the nail on the head. There was a 9 o'clock thingy, so everyone knew that after that it was going to be a little bit more risque. I suppose why I've brought this up is because I want to let people know what's on the internet. So now, again, as you say, parents can have control and go, oh, hang on, if that's out there, then we're going to do X, Y, and Z. Absolutely, mate. Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be taken from us. You're right. Again, we're all individuals of freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and everything. It's down to the parents. It's down to a family environment. But if you don't know it's out there, you don't know what to protect them from.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just another aspect of the declining social standards. The nuclear family, the responsibility, parents who actually, do their own, police their own kids for their own well-being. Now I think a lot of parents just can't be bothered.
Well, not even not bothered. Look at me and Viv and how terrible we are on the computer. Many dads and mums of our age don't know what's out there because they don't know how to use these things. We didn't grow up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Are you actually back with us, Viv?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Just about.
I hope it's not lagging. I don't know. Yeah, it is or it isn't.
I mean, let's not. Sorry, Viv. I don't know how much of that conversation you caught.
A bit, yeah. I did.
I mean, YouTube is a it's Google. It's owned by Google. Okay, and Google is the devil as far as I'm concerned, or an aspect of it for sure. So who knows? All sorts of shenanigans going on with them.
So it's about accessing content on YouTube.
Yeah, and how 4D came up with this video. He found this video, and it was listed as this woman cleaning her floor. Okay, it had no reference to anything sexual at all. And when you open it, when you start the video, it is a woman cleaning her floor, but she's wearing a see-through negligee and showing all her bits, and that's obviously what it was really about. And it had this really terrible AI narration over the top. Just talking about, and now I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to wash the floor. And now here's me washing the floor. You know, it was stupid.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So,
oh dear.
yeah.
I thought,
How
But
deep does it go?
also, it was the amount of views it had, Viv, and as I said, I went on and kind of looked, and there's loads of it out there, and I suddenly thought, fuck, how many people are actually aware that this YouTube that their children's looking at, you can see. I genuinely didn't realise that sort of stuff was on there. So I guess I was so shocked that I really wanted to talk about it and go, it's worse than we think.
Well, one thing you can do, having a YouTube account, is you can report it. And I would do that. If I had an account, I would report it and I'll keep an eye on it and see if it stays up.
Well, do you remember when people were leaking films on YouTube? I don't know if you do remember, but it was about last year, and suddenly every film that was coming out in cinema would be on YouTube and you could watch it. And I watched a couple. But what you found is those sites would be up for about 2-3 days at the most. And suddenly they'd have loads and loads of subscribers. They'd be a sort of 500,000 subbed account. They'd throw it all out, and then the people would catch them, close it down, and they'd move on, open up another account. Already 500,000 subscribers, push another one. And I think it's the same with this. It doesn't matter. You report it gets closed down. They just open up another one. I don't know how they do it. I guess it's all bots and stuff, but it's just a constant flow.
Yeah, whack-a-mole. But they obviously have a way of being able to put it up in the first place. They found a way to get. I mean, I don't understand what the point is, because I'm sure they don't. Well, they must be making money from it, but I don't understand how. Because
it's data scraping.
Ah, okay.
They're scraping data, compiling it, and selling it on. I reckon, but I don't know for sure. But data is the new crude oil, as Mr. Boris Johnson said.
I think I've got a funny feeling it's more nefarious than that, because I see what you're saying, and it makes sense. But I think it is literally just to destroy social cohesion, because it makes not make money out of it. I don't know if you could, if your channel's constantly getting closed down, it's going to cost you a lot of people money to have all the bots reopening it. And as Bronze says, I don't really know what money is going to be made of that. It does seem like it is literally just to put it out there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you said these channels you were talking about were putting up these films, so there's nothing particularly necessarily bad, in terms of kids seeing films on YouTube. It's just a copyright issue at the end of the day. It's just, pirating, basically.
Yes, yeah.
So in terms of that kind of having a detrimental effect on society, probably not greatly. I mean, with the subject of sexual content, absolutely. That is really...
I just mean that they could have those channels down in 3 or 4 days, just like they can have these channels down in 3 or 4 days, and they do. But they just like the movie ones, they would just constantly come back on another channel.
Yeah. I guess that's the nature of the beast, I suppose.
It suggests to me they're collecting data. It suggests to me that they're collecting data on users. But as for the sexual content stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, I even thought, is there any links to some kind of porn site or something, or some what do they call it, OnlyFans account? But there was nothing. There was no links. So even from a monetary point of view there, or even a PORN point of view, I was like, there's nowhere. It's not directing anyone to anything.
Yeah. By the way, 40, you I don't think you need to spell out the word anymore. You just said it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, and again, isn't it stupid that we have to think about words because the AI will find us and throw us off quicker than we can say porn? But those they don't, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All by design,
Yeah.
gents. It's a sickening truth that really sickens me every day. That all of this BS is just by design.
Yeah.
But
they're going down though. Don't worry about that. I'm convinced of it.
well, yeah. Before you came on, Viv, Fordy and I were just chatting and saying how things seem to have really moved up a gear over the last couple of weeks. Everything just seems to be accelerating at the moment. So it does seem like a head of steam is starting to build here, and it's getting very interesting.
I mean, abortion. Did you see that? The bill.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How could they do that?
Crazy.
How could they do that? Unbelievable.
They'll do more, mate.
Just
They'll do more. They're
Yeah.
going to do more. They're going to do abortion post-birth now.
Oh, that's that. Oh, geez. Well, where are these people?
I spoke about it last week. I thought this was something that was going to take 6 months. I didn't think it was something that was going to be next week and rushed through. And apparently, it was overwhelmingly what voted that way. And I just, as soon as I saw the post, whichever one of you posts out, I just thought, wow, what the heck?
Yeah.
No.
It was really quick, wasn't it? It's really quick. It surprised me as well how quick it was. But
yeah, and
well,
Farage didn't vote. Farage didn't vote, by the way.
Nor did Lowe, did you say?
Nor did Rupert Lowe. Both of those two didn't vote. I don't know why.
What do you mean? They didn't vote, or they didn't?
They didn't vote. They didn't cast a vote.
They could have voted against.
Yeah,
why didn't they vote against then? If they,
well, this is a question.
Yeah, of course.
Why would you abstain something as fundamentally, something as important as that? You wouldn't abstain. That's terrible.
Well, I did say that they had abstained. I did say that they had abstained, but that wasn't what I read. What I read was that there was a list of MPs who voted for, MPs who voted against, and MPs who didn't vote. Now, what that means, I don't know if that qualifies as an abstention or if there's a broader meaning to that.
Yeah, I see.
But the two of them were on the list. The two of them were on the list of ones who did not vote.
Okay.
So make of it what you will.
Yeah, I mean, we are dealing with a death cult, so these are sacrifices to Moloch.
I truly believe that. But yeah, I truly believe that too. I genuinely do. Actually, sometimes it's. But yeah, and obviously this is UK and the world must know what's happening with the whole grooming gangs. It's again, we said it went from nothing to suddenly it's full on. Tommy Robinson's talking about it. People are starting to say that they realise Tommy Robinson was right. A lot of mainstream media are still trying to spin that he was wrong about it. But take that to one side. It's just the whole concept of if it, as I said to Bronze, if it goes the way we all hope it should do, that every one of them gets picked up and then it all goes, but it'd have to be done slowly. But I was just saying how many people are going to be involved with. I personally think we're talking tens of thousands that are going to be of some level implicated, and it's not just the grooming; it's the implications that you'll have a lot less police officers, a lot less welfare officers, and blah 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 blah. But
yeah, but over what period of time, Viv? Because not all, because like as Fordy said, there are probably tens of thousands of people who, one way or another, are involved in this, either directly or covering it up or aiding and abetting. And you can't just take them all out because everything would just collapse. So it's kind of a catch-22.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Sounds fine. Listen,
but you know that's not going to happen. You know that's not. They won't let that happen. Even the people, even the people in favour of getting all of this done and getting justice, they understand that is not a solution. That they don't want that to happen. You know.
Well, they will be
as good as it may sound.
They may be hounded out. Then they may be hounded out. I mean, who really is exercised about paedophilia? You know, a lot of people are. An awful lot of people are. You know.
Yeah, but do you really think that this is going to get right to this inquiry is really going to get right to the root of it all? Is it going to flush out all of them? I don't think it will. I think it'll end up being a few sacrificial lambs for the optics, and then hopefully it can all die down again.
This is why.
Yeah, I know it won't work. I know. Yeah, of course it won't work. But that's what's probably going to happen, in my opinion.
That's what's going to happen.
I suppose my opinion is I just don't think. I think the cat is out of the bag in a way that I don't think that could happen. I think there's too many people awake to this, and I suppose that's why it frightens me. Because if you guys are right, then we've got some real anarchistic dark days ahead of us. Because I don't think that the public are not going to let this one go.
No, but here's the thing, right? The government has been forced into this. There's no way they willingly did this, right? They've been forced into it. So they didn't want to do this. We know that. They tried to shut down inquiries previously. Now they have no choice. So I think they are only going to go as far as the least. They're going to do the least amount of investigation, if you like, as possible. So they're not going to just launch themselves into it and go, yeah, okay, let's get on with it. Let's sort all this out. They're just going to be very, very like, okay, we only need to do this much. We can only afford to do this much. And hopefully that'll be enough to quell the public opinion. And I think we'll
carry on silencing the likes of Tommy Robinson, Katie Hopkins, and Wooten.
So Tommy Robinson will always be the plague to them. There might be a few cracks showing towards him. His name's popping up a little bit more now, but he's still public enemy number one in their eyes.
I'm blown away that I'm the one that suffers with depression and I'm the optimistic one here, but I genuinely, let's see how this penny drops. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And
rules of inquiry is.
No, go on, mate. You're right.
I was just saying the rules of government inquiry are: number one, never launch an inquiry without knowing the outcome. Number two, commission the report before launching the inquiry. Now, number three, you can't bury the bodies, so bury the victims and witnesses.
Yeah.
So discredit them, in other words. Discredit them. Discredit the victims, the witnesses. Say, they were prostitutes. Can a 10-year-old be a prostitute? Really?
I think we've moved beyond that now, Viv. That's what they have been doing, and they're getting shown up for it now. That one's being exposed, so they're going to have to sort of shift their tactics, which is, I think, is relenting to a certain extent. They're going to have to go with it to a certain extent. There's going to be some people who are going to be taken out. There's going to be some deportations probably, but it's all just going to be for optics. It's not going to be a root and branch clean out. I don't think not immediately. At least it's going to take a long time for this to really all get sorted out.
Because the establishment will never blame themselves.
Did you hear, Viv, how Angela Rayner went on to an interview and twisted the whole story on its arse by saying, we'd known about it. We just didn't want to talk about Tommy Robinson because what he's done is he's made it even harder, because by talking about it, he's made sure that people don't get arrested. Literally try to make out that, oh no, yeah, we knew everything, but we were trying to keep him quiet because he's ruining, arresting people. What a disgusting scumbag move.
That was Jess Phillips, by the way.
Sorry.
Jess Phillips, I did see that, yes, and that's what I said earlier. That's what I said, that you know, that it will seek to blame regular people.
Mm-hmm.
This is all the fault of racists, you see.
Of course, yeah.
So, yeah. And Muslims are children. They can't really control themselves. So, yeah, it's cultural. You know, look away, look away.
Hopefully the amazing knock-on effect is this is going to start to bring places back together, because, you know, who's not scared of these bloody grooming gangs going out there and snatching kids? So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will start to bring communities back together, to try and weed it. Because again, if you want to weed out who the dodgy ones are, get your streets together, and the ones that don't come out, they've got something to. Well, no, that's stupid. Actually, that was a ridiculous comment. Yeah, sorry. Actually, I've just realised that. But just get to know your communities. It's much easier for these scumbags to walk amongst us when no one knows each other.
There are plenty of reasonable Muslims who are seeing their faith defamed. They need to stand up as well. People like Rajamia, people need to stand up. You know, people from the Muslim community need to. I call it community, but the Muslims need to come out and say, "Hang on, whoa, excuse me, but we don't condone this."
Yeah, I think this rat is out of the bag now. That the good ones will, like you and I and all of us, we'd want to make sure that we're on the right side of this. So I do hope that next week, we'll start to hear the odd Muslim community faith leader of some description sort of getting behind this. Absolutely. You're barely understandable now.
Yeah, this is not working.
Yeah, no, it's not at all, actually.
This is not going to be listenable, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think he's fully gone now, actually.
Some bloke answers, "Oh, I represent the Muslim community."
Liv's having a conversation on his own.
Bollocks he does. There's no women involved for a start. What do the Muslim women think about this? What do they know what their men are doing? I reckon. All right. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. I think I'll go.
Yeah, he's about 10 minutes behind us. Yeah, he's got it.
that
might come across really well when recording.
Yeah, I think that was Craig who did that. He's like, I've had enough of this. He's out of here.
I mean, we got bits of what he was saying, and I think it's just that they're going to have to take a side, because by not coming out and backing it, it's taking the other side. And I think, as you said, the cats are out of the bags, and that's not a good. I think they're going to have to, some of them.
Well, I think basically they have taken a side by not coming out. They're taking a side. And they because of it's probably intimidation and going against the grain of their community is a big thing, and yeah, you can understand that. But yeah, like I said, I think that one is the hardest nut to crack on this, is getting all of them to start standing up and saying and going against their own, as it were, because that's what it's going to be like. And we know how they treat them when they go against doctrine.
Well, it annoys me, because if the roles were reversed and it was that there was a lot of white English groups, I would be fully behind taking them down. Like, I don't care. Okay, I'm different. I don't care what your color, where your race. Well, I don't care any of that. I just care that you're either a good person or a bad person.
But yeah, I mean, but there wouldn't be any issue with that, because they would be taken down, and it would be front page.
Yeah.
It'd be short and swift. It'd be, massively denounced, and we're all racists and whatever, and so yeah, it'd be a completely different scenario. But of course, yeah. Nobody, doesn't matter what your background is, nobody should be engaging in this sort of behaviour at all.
And I've even heard him spinning it to the reminder of this is what men are like, and all men just we have to be aware. No, again, don't fall for this crap. It's not always a very, very small percentage of men that get involved with this.
Yeah, well, it's just another aspect of this culture war. The attack on straight men, and even that's kind of starting to wear thin as well. They're all starting to wear a bit thin, which is quite encouraging to see. But quite sort of what's going to emerge from it, we'll see. But yeah, we're under attack.
Taking a flop across the water. Have you seen a couple of the Democrat leaders that have been arrested? One broke into someone talking, and he got dragged out and handcuffed. And I've seen 3 of them now.
Sorry,
I think I've seen 3 now, and I was just like, oh, they're really starting to clamp down on it as well.
Yeah, that guy, I think, I could be wrong. I think his name was Padula. I think his name was that guy who it's Christy Nome. She was doing a press conference, I think, and he just broke in and started shouting and got carted away. And there was this other guy, Landers, I think his name is, who actually was interrupting an ICE arrest of an illegal, and he was just holding on to him and he wouldn't let him go. So they arrested him. I think he subsequently got let out. I don't know much of the details about that. But yeah, I mean, Tom Homan and all the rest of them, they're just completely unrelenting and say, no, we're just going to carry on. We're going to keep going. And it's like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Just keep at it. You'll break through. You'll break through the barrier at some point, I'm sure, of the public.
Yeah, I mean, because they really have gone full on, and I don't blame them. I don't like it always. I am a bit of a anti any fights and stuff now, but even so, those crowds, they're dangerous, and they've made a firm stand and said you ain't getting away with this, and I can guarantee that stops them in their tracks, because a lot of them have been shot with the rubber bullets, a lot of them, and it's they've had such freedom over in America for the last 20 years to do all this chanting and race baiting and all the crap that they do. I think their Trump's hard stance on this hopefully will snub this out before it goes too crazy for them.
Yeah, key thing is the funding, cutting off the funding. They're investigating or where the money's coming from, which is good as well. That could turn up some interesting things. I mean, very interesting about this nationwide protest is No Kings, so-called No Kings protest I had last weekend.
Yes,
it was on the same day, right? Here's some interesting facts. It was on the day of the military parade, which celebrated the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army, right? And they staged this big No Kings protest. And this military parade, the U.S. Army, which was formed in 1775, was the very same army that kicked out the king. Okay, kicked out the British, the monarchy, out of the colonies. So there's an irony there. And also they had the similar thing, right? This is quite funny. In Canada, they had it was all the same type of thing, but they didn't call it No Kings. They called it No Tyrants, because they are actually ruled by a king, and they obviously didn't want to upset him.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. And it was a bit of a damp squid. I mean, there's a few. I mean, it sounds like there's quite. Overall, there was quite a lot of attendance, but it was obviously spread out over the whole country. And I don't know, what has it achieved? It didn't really gain much traction by the looks of it. It was just a bit of a waste of time and money, if you ask me.
Well, I think only because of the hard stance. I saw quite a few. One particular one. I don't know if that was before the parade. I might be wrong, actually. Maybe it was before the parade, but where they were throwing bricks down on the police, and there was thousands and thousands. And they cut off all the highways. So I think, and then for this one, they all gathered up, but the rubber bullets just started going out, and it soon dispersed. And I think it's because of that hard stance that it didn't go anywhere.
Just how dangerous are rubber bullets? I mean, I guess they hurt if you get hit, but can they be fatal?
Yeah.
I mean,
and in fact, there's a guy laying in the hospital at the moment because he got shot just under the eye.
Ooh.
And the thing is, a couple of millimeters up, and that would have gone through your eye socket into your head. It's I mean, they're designed as non-lethal, but you've got to remember that there are situations where it's still a weapon. So yes, on very slim occasions it could be fatal. But you're gonna go on.
How do they compare to air rifles in terms of seriousness of actually inflicting?
I don't. Do you know what? You'd have to ask some firearms expert, but I'm going to say, I'm going to assume I mean, it's rubber, so yeah, I'm going to say not as. Well, no, because there's not much pressure with like a 2.2 rifle or something like that. So it's probably about the same, but it won't break skin because it's a flat end and it's rubber, so it absorbs some of the speed as it collapses on your skin. But so probably about the same, bruise and hurt wise.
Yeah, I mean velocity. I guess it's not a very high velocity that they're fired at either. So yeah.
But I mean, have you ever been paintballing?
No, but that can hurt. I know that can hurt. Yeah,
I was going to say paintballing hurts like it's something crazy, and I'd say it's probably like that. It's a sharp sting that really hurts. So yeah, it stops you doing what you're doing. I saw another one where they just opened up these rubber bullets and all down this guy's legs, and he just collapsed. Again, the pain must be pretty extreme, I reckon, when you get shot all over the back of your legs.
Yeah.
But you definitely wouldn't want to be shot in the eye or any of your soft bits.
I wouldn't want to be shot anywhere, to be quite honest with you, at all.
No. But yeah, I forgot about the No Kings. I suppose there's so much been going on. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the parade. Did you happen to watch the parade at all?
I watched a little bit of it, and one thing that really struck me was how badly the army was at marching. They were crap. They looked really, really raggedy. They're marching. It wasn't very. It didn't look like they were kind of put
my friend is going to love listening back to this because she said exactly the same. We kind of sat here and kind of watched a bit of it while we were doing some other things. And she said, "Oh God, they're terrible at marching." And I'll point out the same to you. The problem with you is you've been you're used to the British soldier, and we have such a disciplined march. So when we march, our arms have to come right up parallel with our legs, so it's 90 degrees. Whereas Americans, they only kind of stroll when they march. So the likes of you and my friend watched that and thought, "Oh my God, they can't march." Truth of the matter is, it's just that we're kind of known for some of the most disciplined marching in the world. Some of the Asian countries do very, very good marching as well, but no, the Americans aren't sort of as disciplined as us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe what one aspect of it was it was the US Army. I did hear that if it had been a supposed more what you might call elite branch, they would have been a bit more shipshape, a bit more together with it. But also an interesting point of view is that, like you say, all of that really disciplined, strict inline marching is it's a real it's a real obvious show of militarism, which you kind of associate with these dictatorship countries like the old Soviet Union, the the Chinese Communist Party, North Korea. They do all of that stuff, really regimented and it may have been kind of sort of optically more just to kind of give the impression that they weren't quite sort of heading towards a military dictatorship, as it was.
No, genuinely, it's literally just the arms. It's because when British soldiers, as I say, it's literally that, but they just kind of if you notice, they will have been in step. Every leg will have been moving at the same time because, well, it's part of marching. You cannot be out of step because you all trip over each other because you're so close to each other. So they are still disciplined. They are marching as a body of men, but it's just like I say, you're used to watching the British soldier, and we are just. it's all time 1, 2, 3, and it's all freaking, as you said, very communist, very well, it is, because you're doing it for the king, or as I was doing it for the queen. So it is very different, and we're, I mean, again, that's another good thing to say about us. We are stooped in that history that's what we do, and we've got these beef eaters that stand outside not moving, and people flash cameras at them and try and get it. We're just we were known as these real disciplined, and people, people loved the British soldier back in my day. Not the IRA time, that was just before my time, but after that, it was like there was a real, we were classed as the best in the world. Everyone sort of respected us. We were known as, we had that kind of, everyone had a sort of respect for the British soldier, and that's very quickly gone completely the other way now.
I do wonder sometimes. I go past, on occasion, places like Buckingham Palace, where they have the the soldiers on guard, with their red tunics and the bearskins, and they're just standing there. And I do actually wonder, it's like, how long have you got to stand there perfectly still? How long are you doing that for? And your mind must start wandering, and at some point you must kind of think, what am I doing with my life? I'm spending most of my day just standing still, doing absolutely nothing.
Well, and yeah, they're the professional stander stillers, but even me as a regular average Joe soldier, the amount of times you say how long, so I was going to say the amount of times I've been on a parade where some highty-tighty dignitary wants to look at you, you do a bit of marching around, showing yourself up, you come to a halt, you all stand completely still to attention. I've been stood there for an hour before, and that's not even a stretch. You stand there for 2 hours. It depends how shit the commanding officer thinks everyone is. He'll make you stand there all day if he wants to. And to the point, again, it's difficult to sort of explain to civilians that there's such discipline that I've seen people pass out because if you stand, there's things you have to do to teach yourself how to stand still, because if you actually stood still for an hour, you would collapse because the blood would stop flowing. So you have to, even teaching you how to move your legs without you lot seeing that we're moving our legs, where we shake, so I can still do it now, and you shake your kneecap and you shake your arms, because if you're caught moving, it's like a punch in the face. You're not allowed to. You've got with that discipline, that British soldier crap that they beat into us, and they literally do beat it into us. Where people have stood there, and then they just fall down. And there's even rules, believe it or not, that you're not allowed to say. So if you're on a parade and someone faints, you're not allowed to save them, because then you would be breaking ranks. So you have to watch your mate who's passed out. They usually fall forwards. They don't break their fall with their arms because they've already passed out. So they smash their face right against the pavement or the parade ground that you're marching on. And you have to just stay still. And then someone will run on and grab the person and take him off to hospital. And it's only now in my sort of older days I look back at the slavery that we're put, I'm not even trying to make this worse than it is. It is genuinely like that. You're an absolute slave, and you do as you're told, or you die. And well, that's a bit overstretched. Sorry, that's an absolute overstretch. But it's kind of like that. You do as you're told. It's absolutely backwards.
Yeah, that's not for me, I will say.
No, and it's why lots of me's have such problems when we come out, because it's hard to explain to someone that, like, literally, I was told when to use the toilet, when to eat, when to go to sleep, when to wake up. Went to war, come back, didn't realise I had loads of problems from that. Then you come out, I didn't have a house, didn't have a job, onto the streets, and suddenly everything's against you, and no one's telling you when to eat, when to drink, and I, like, literally, like a robot, I started to deteriorate. I couldn't look after myself. I'm an intelligent guy. I'm not trying to say that we're stupid, because we're not. But the institutionalization that I now call myself a robot. The robot, the way they turn you into a robot, it's frightened me in my older days to realize the kind of crap they got me to do, and the kind of crap we all just happily got on. Again, I could tell you loads and loads of horror stories. I'm sure over the weeks we'll get through to some of them. But yeah, it's absolutely disgusting the way they treat soldiers.
Yeah, I see Viv's back on. Are you with us, Viv?
I've just gone and deleted loads of stuff from the iCloud. I don't know if I've deleted enough. Do I sound better? Is this better?
You do, yes. You do sound better, yes.
Yeah, I think 4D sorted it. And I want to say, after listening to that, if you don't want to join the army, well, just just get a job in an office in a corporation, because they do similar things. They won't, you're not going to go out and kill people, but they'll tell you exactly what to do, and they will micromanage your life. Which is what they're doing to me.
Really?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, they're micromanaging my life. Oh, you can't go on break. No breaks. Oh, get back on the phones. Oh, you've been on this call too long. We're monitoring you. They monitor us by the second, what we're doing, the calls, that it's all monitored. Am I lagging? Is this sounding all right?
No, it
you
sounds
sound fine.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that sounds like an absolute nightmare, Viv. That would be one of the worst jobs in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, I've been put on. I've been last Friday. I've been put on a 3-month period warning. So because I'm not making, I'm not making enough calls. My calls are feckin' brilliant. I'll tell you that for nothing. They really are, because I sort out the problems. I listen to people. I empathise. I try to sort things out. I don't kick the can down the road. I own it. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Isn't that what we're told we're supposed to do?
No. What they want you to do. Yeah, see, what they want you to do is they just want to get you through person after person after person. Don't sort them out. Just get the numbers up. Just show them that they've got the numbers coming through, and what a great company it is. They don't want any results. They don't want you to help anyone or show any empathy.
No.
Oh, goodness. That costs money, mate.
You're damn right. They want what are called KPIs, key performance indicators, to show to the investors, to the board, and say, well, look, we're handling this many calls. Well, it doesn't matter if someone rings up and says, oh, blah, 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 I've got all these problems. Oh, I'll just transfer you. Bye. No, instead of someone stopping, right, what are the issues here? And let me see if I can solve these issues. Because if you solve the issues, it doesn't get kicked down the road. It doesn't go on, and it doesn't clog up the system. It's like a log jam on a river. You clear the logs and the water flows. But oh no. That's why I've joined the Workers of England Union, because I'm going to need protection.
I remember about 10 years ago going for a job, and I remember the interviewer saying to me, oh, and just to let you know, there's only or whatever the number was, you're allowed to use the toilet X amount of times. And that was one of the moments where my anger was that great. All I did was stood up, turned around and walked out and slammed the door. I was like, how fucking dare you tell me how many times I'm going to be allowed to use the toilet while I'm here? I'm not fucking working here.
Exactly.
Yeah, shit, man.
I can imagine. I can only imagine how bad it is now. I haven't. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It used to be all right, but now it's a bit different. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm in a union, and I know Workers of England. The reason I joined Workers of England Union is because they were one of the few unions that stood up for people who'd lost their jobs, who didn't take the jab, who refused to take the jab. Okay. All the other unions went, oh no, you got to take the jab, man. You got to take the jab. Workers of England said, no, we're going to support our workers. If they've been told that they're going to lose their job from taking an experimental medical whatever it's called, God, I'm really quite angry actually. I mean, I'm not an angry person. I've got my PMA, my positive mental attitude. But when I think about this, what's all this? My body, my choice. They've just voted on the abortion, or in Parliament, shining their asses on the leather seats and saying, "Oh, yeah, my body, my choice." But all of that lot, all of those people voted for people to be injected. without their consent. So where's my body, my choice? It's bullshit. It's lies. It's the usual shit that we've come to expect from the people who do not deserve to rule over us, who do not represent us, and must be gone. Sorry about that, but there we go.
And they used to represent about 49% of the population, but they don't. Yeah, you're right. They don't represent anyone anymore. They represent themselves and the 1% of absolutely rich people.
Yeah, and their corporate backers and their globalist mates who tell them what to do. So we've been sold out down the river. But does anyone say anything? Oh, no, it's all right. The Labour have been not very good, but vote Tory and that will be better.
Just how big is that Workers' Union of England, Viv? Do they really have much now?
It's not that big, actually. I don't know. I'm taking a gamble with them. It's £12 a month, but I'm prepared to pay that. It's not that much. Yeah. And you get a shiny badge and a membership card. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, let's hope you don't have to use them. But if you do, I guess you're going to find out.
Yep, exactly. Yep. I mean, people have said they are good. They come in, they stand up, for you. So we should see. We should see how it progresses. Maybe it will get better, But at the moment, there's no protection from people, and it's really lowering my vibration when I've got row after row of callers insulting me, and I'm there to help them, and they're calling me names, and we have no comeback. I can't, I'm going to start saying, I'm sorry, but we treat you, but if you don't treat us with the respect with which we show you, then I will have to terminate this call, mate.
As I say, there's so much anger for so many reasons. It's just a knock-on, ever-decreasing circle of crap because everyone's angry with everyone and they just pass it on every call and interaction and coming home to their husband, coming home to their wife and shouting at them. It's really,
I know,
really
man.
Sad.
I agree with you. It's 100%. You're 100% right. But why should you project? Why project your anger on someone who you found out cannot talk back to you?
Because it's just a soundboard. It's just a sometimes things get so messed up. Just the first person is the person that gets shouted at. I think half the time it's literally that's all it is. I've got the kids here. I can't pay the bill. Oh, and I've got to sort out this thing and call you, and you're just the thing that makes them explode. It could be your accent. It could be the way you say hello. It could be anything, mate.
Yeah, no, it's just you're the point. But you're the point of contact, Viv. That's what it is. Who else are they going to be angry at? They've got to be angry. They're angry, so they're going to find someone to release it on. And you're the human being on the end of the phone working for the company.
Yeah,
it's only natural. I wouldn't say it's only natural, but it's understandable.
People that run these places should have to come from that place. They should have had to do your job and work their way up. And the only reason they're the boss of that company now is because they know every aspect of the job because they work their way up of it. And also it means that when they're at the top, they'll remember how crap it was to be on the phones and be the public face of the company. It's even little things like that would help you out. It's because the boss has no idea what goes on. He doesn't even know. He just rules out.
I don't know about
how
the
many
topic.
calls do you have to
do? I'm averaging plus 30 now. I'm supposed to do 60.
Right, so you're supposed to do double what you are doing. Right.
Yeah. And I must say that a lot of the people, the team leaders, have been specially chosen because they were all on the phones once. They were all either claims handlers, call handlers, whatever. So they do know, but of course, to protect their position, they will throw me under the bus, or they'll throw anyone like me under the bus. You know,
Well, then also team leaders aren't in charge of the. They just do as their boss tells. And what I mean is the boss that's telling them what to do. He or she should have had to come up through the ranks.
yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, mate. In fact, you're completely right. Yeah.
But I'm going to drag it back to positivity and say, because I was saying this to Bronze, is that it's got so dark. I think it is all going to come. It's not going to be pushed down the road, or the can's not going to get pushed down the road. I think it's too late for any of this. I think it's going to be scary where it goes, because I think there's going to be sort of anarchistic type of period to get through. But I genuinely, on a positive way, I think this is all coming out. I don't know what the end result of it's going to be, but I think we're getting there.
I look forward to anarchy, not smashing things up, but people working together in a actual, in a proper community, helping each other, mutual aid, that sort of thing. Not this isolated pod life that we're being forced into by the globalists, but no, actually people coming together, and helping each other.
If that is to happen, Viv, that's gonna there's gonna be a massive gap in between where we are now and getting to there, and what happens in that gap is not going to be pretty.
No, we'll be fine. Well, it'd be absolutely fine. We have to withdraw from their shit society, their shit stem, and that's what we have to do. We have to use common law carefully, of course. We have to withdraw. We have to remove our slave name from this shit society. We have to build a parallel society. And everyone goes, oh, that's not going to happen. But it could happen. We can do it. We can do it,
yeah, but I mean, I think not everybody, very few people are willing to do that. That's a problem. If that's to happen, most people are going to have to be dragged kicking and screaming to do that. And that's going to cause all sorts of issues as well.
Yeah,
the vast majority of people I don't see things that way. That's just the way it is. People are still glued to their TVs and still in the matrix, as it were.
It's a time of tribulation. And there will be great tribulation coming.
Talking of tribulation is a change of subject.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry about that rant, everyone.
Sorry. What's going on in Iran, eh? What's going on over there? The plains of Armageddon.
Yeah.
Tribulations and the plains of Armageddon.
I know. I know.
What I can't make head nor tail of it myself, to be honest with you, what's really going on.
Well, and also the precision of this last move, where they've taken out all the heads of the military, they've taken out specific people, and I heard that I was listening to Netanyahu say basically, and I can't remember which job it was, but let's say it was the minister for defense. Basically, killed him, and they said to the guy that's just about to take that job, don't take that job or else. And I just thought, wow, they've now literally got full control of the other country's military, because no one's going to officially step into that line for fear. It's escalated on such a level, and America are just sitting there. They're still wagging their tongue at it all, but like literally, this is just. I think they're funding it and helping it, and probably Starlink has got a huge amount to do with it. But yeah, this is an end game move that's just been played.
I don't know. I'm just suspicious of everything that I'm being told about it now. Everyone's being taken out, and they're destroying this and they're destroying that. Missiles here, missile. It's just like, I'm not going to go with it at all right now, because I'm sure there's a lot of fake stuff coming out. Even from the heads of state, all the announcements and the speeches they're making. It's like, no, I'm not gonna, I'm just not gonna take it on board. It's
how many of them are now AI? Did Netanyahu you really say that? Yeah, absolutely. It's
exactly. I mean, we've only got the media in all its forms, both alternative and mainstream, to give us our information. really.
And we already don't trust them anyway. So
exactly. I mean, even a lot of the alternative media, I don't really trust anymore. Because I mean, it is kind of exposing quite a lot of them. A lot of the battle lines are being drawn. People are planting their flag on one side or the other for the most part, and I think that's a problem. The people who do explicitly take one side or the other is you're immediately kind of put yourself in a compromised position. I don't think that's a reasonable thing to do. I think you need to just sort of be detached from it and not get drawn onto one side or the other, because there's bullshit on both sides.
maybe that's why this is, well, maybe that's the proof that this is what all white hat moves, because if you look at it from a white hat point of view, you pretend all these things are going on, you watch who takes the wrong point of view, and you go, yep, they're the next ones to keep an eye on. It weeds out the people just by what side of different aspects they take on.
I don't know. I think we're getting into the nitty gritty of 5D operations now,
We are,
and that is beyond my. It's just mind boggling to try and get my head around any of it at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll end up in World War III. I don't think we're going to get to World War III. Not certainly not kinetically. As we said before, we are probably in World War III, in like an information war. There's no doubt about that, and a culture war. But we're not going to be blown off the face of the planet by nukes. I don't think that's going to happen. It's not going to get that far.
It was only a couple of weeks ago we were saying it was going to be the same with India and Pakistan.
You were saying that, 4D.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. And just before that, it was Russia and Ukraine. It's all, as you say, I don't know how much of it is real, what games are getting played or what's going on. But the whole world is absolutely... You'd expect these kinds of conflicts to happen every couple of years. This has been in the last year. It's all happening, Yeah.
I'd expect these conflicts to happen in the playground. I'd expect grown-ups to talk with each other. So there's something else going on. And you're absolutely right, 40. Ukraine, that's old news. That's yesterday. Oh, the new one is Israel and Palestine. Oh, no. The new one is Iran. So on and on it goes. On and on it goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a massive battle being fought. If you subscribe to the black hat, white hat thing, they are going at it. The white hats are doing their damnedest to bring them down. The black hats are kind of trying as hard as they can just to hold on to what they've had and what they've got. And I think what we're seeing is kind of like the fallout of that. What's put out to the public, the narratives that are put out to the public is kind of both of them going at each other, trying to sway people's opinions.
Yeah,
I just stand aside, watch it. I'm not taking sides in this nonsense.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of my position. Yeah.
Just watch the trailer bodies, the trailer bodies, the flow of blood. It's heartbreaking. It's horrific.
I've got my generator, my solar panel, my 6 months worth of food, my water. I will just close the curtains and batter down for 6 months and see what happens when I come out again.
It's going to come out looking like, you'll come out looking like Howard Hughes, really long fingernails and a massive beard.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan, though. I mean, I've got my books and I've got loads of sardines. I don't even like them much, but
That's Viv's survival kit: books and sardines.
Sorted, it's right. It's right.
A few bottles of real ale. And I'm happy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is that a man thing? Because I got loads of sardines in. And is that a blokey thing? Or I survive on sardines? I can.
That's a sensible thing. That's a sensible thing because they last a long time. They've got long shelf life. Proteins, good protein, are good for you. So it's sensible. I've got loads of like canned fish as well. Yeah,
love it.
Tuna, sardines.
I love it. I love tuna the most, though. I'm not mad keen on sardines, but I'll eat them. Yeah, I do think there's an element of a blokey thing. I mean, all the survivalist thing. There are women who do this as well, of course, and I know a few of them. But But yeah, it's mainly a bloke
predominantly a
thing.
man
Well,
thing.
I'm going to be controversial here and say if you're a proper woman, you'll rely on your man to look after that.
Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's absolutely right, and it's not chauvinistic either. It's the way of things. It's that we're protectors.
And if you haven't got a man, get down the shop and get sardines.
Yeah.
And I just have to quickly say, we spoke last Wednesday, and I was saying there's ambulances outside my downstairs neighbour. Yeah, he was sitting in his chair, dead.
Oh no.
Yeah. Looking into the flat, it's really sad, actually. It's really sad. It's just the fate of all elderly single men. Just, he'd sit there smoking weed, listening to Pink Floyd, watching the cricket, and drinking wine. And he's in his mid to late 70s. I mean, I suppose it's not a bad way to go, I guess. I don't know.
It could be worse.
It could be a lot worse. Falling asleep, not waking up, I suppose. That's all right.
I've got a similar story, but it's quite gruesome. I don't know if you want to hear it.
Go on.
I personally wouldn't mind not hearing it, but unfortunately,
don't worry, I won't.
Well,
if it's too,
if it's too gruesome, yeah.
It's not too gruesome, but
sorry, people, I'm a pain for that stuff.
Yeah, that's all right. So, I wonder what Paul Whitehouse would have to say about all this.
Arse.
Would he just say arse? It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I love the one that he's northern. No, they were both northern. Brilliant was northern, but that bloke comes up and he goes, rubbish. Everything's rubbish. It's all bloody rubbish. Look at this rubbish everywhere. It's just bloody rubbish. So he was like the antithesis of brilliant. Everything's brilliant. That's how we go, though. That's how the mind flows. It's up and down. One day it's brilliant. One day it's rubbish. It's all inside our mind. We're trapped in the mind. Oh, blimey, what am I talking about? Where have I gone now? Oh, dear.
You're thinking aloud there, Viv.
Yeah, I was actually. I was thinking of another Fast Show character which I used to love called the Nice Painter. He'd be painting with his wife. He's an elderly chap. Yeah, do you remember this? And suddenly,
the elderly couple painting. Yeah. Oh, isn't that lovely? Look at those clouds. Isn't there? Just a little bit of black, I think, there. And that was it. That was his trigger word. Then he'd just go mental. He'd go black, 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 and start freaking out.
He'd smash his painting. We're flies trapped in a bottle of shadow.
Yeah,
talking about mad stuff. But yeah, indeed. Oh, I suppose it's nearly the end. It's been a funny old episode, hasn't it? This one.
Yeah, it's kind of had our interruptions. It's up to 4D to really prove his editing, how far his editing skills have come on to put this one together.
I have total confidence.
Yes, so do I. No pressure, 4D. No pressure.
Good for you guys.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. I got to the point where I enjoy the editing now. It's kind of now that I'm not scared because I don't know what I'm doing. There is quite a nice thing to trying to put something together and getting rid of bits and pieces. I like it now actually.
Do you cut out a coughing or stuff or swearing?
Do you know, sometimes, actually, I'll be honest with you, in the last sort of couple, there's not much I do because I just find it more aesthetically pleasing. Well, no, that's not the right word. Sorry. I just find it more pleasing to just let us talk. I don't think there's not really much that I take out. I tell you, the most thing I take out now are big gaps where one of us is talking and we all kind of wait because you can't talk over each other. And sometimes there's a bit of an extra long gap and I take a bit of a gap out so that it kind of flows better. Yeah. I'm terrible for stuttering or not getting my words out straight away. So I've taken bits like that out and little bits like that, but nothing. Yeah, in the last couple, not much at all, actually. In the beginning, I was really I thought you had to make sure it sounded perfect, get all the coughs, all the burps, all the farts out. But actually, it's much better when it's just a conversation. And as I've always said, it's kind of the idea that you're just over listening three guys at a table in a bar, and you would hear us farting, burping, and correcting ourselves. So that's the way it is.
Yeah. Fair play to you, mate. Yeah, it's true. It's true. The idea behind this, as I've said before, is it's just untrammeled conversation. Uncensored. We say what we think, and this is what English people talk about. I suppose maybe we're different. Maybe we're a bit brighter than your average. I don't know. Really. Hard to compare.
Yeah, I would probably hazard a guess that we're not probably your average English people having a chat. I would say
no.
We're probably slightly apart from the norm in that respect. But who knows? It's hard to say. We can't really tell, can we? There may be loads of guys like us having chats like this all over the country.
Yeah,
thinking, you know what, we should put out a podcast. No, let's just have a chat.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody will listen. Nobody's going to listen to us lot.
No, but it's interesting. It's very hard to judge where the country is on a lot of things, and that's where a lot of frustration comes. You sometimes you find yourself, or I find myself shouting at the computer sort of thing, and saying things like, "Why aren't everyone?" But I think everyone is doing the same as me. We just, I think there probably is a lot like us. It's hard to judge because we've got to a point where everyone locks themselves in their houses. I mean, look at us. We're all sort of single people. We're not for the fact that we talk to each other. We'd only be doing the same texting that we were doing in the social network places that we were in. I think there's a lot of us that. I mean, we're not doing anything. We just do this chat and then we load it up. It's not even that much to do, but I can't imagine many people want to do it.
No, I've got to say, people. On your deathbed, okay, has anyone ever said, what are your regrets? And people would say, oh, I'd like to have made love to more women, or this and that, I'd like to be rich. But I don't think anyone's ever said, I'd like to watch more television.
No, I doubt it.
I wish I'd watch more television.
Yeah, I can't say I ever recall ever hearing of anybody ever say that on their deathbed. But
no.
I haven't been around too many deathbeds, thankfully. So my experience in that area is limited.
Yeah, for sure.
I did just want to bring up one last thing. That report that we talked about them, the UK government getting involved in geoengineering to dim the sun. And I was asked to give a shout out to James, or James asked me for a shout out on True Social because he posted this other article saying that now there's another report saying that they're worried that all of this stuff can be used against us, which is kind of like, which to me is kind of, which is like, well, it's a rational response to an irrational position in the first place. And James is saying, oh, perhaps you could do a follow-up on this. And I'm kind of thinking there's not really much to talk about, really. It's like, and that's quite right.
Give James a shout out from me and say, you're right, mate, and all that. And I haven't forgotten you.
Well, Viv, he listens every week, so you've just done it yourself. So I'm sure he'll be pleased with that.
Cheers. Yeah, he's a good bloke.
So you're saying that the government came out, said, oh, no, sorry. It leaked out that the government were trying to do this stuff with the sun. And you're saying the government then said, as a reply to that, oh, we're not going to do it because it could be used against us. Is that what you're saying?
No, well, it didn't leak out. It was official. They announced, we're going to be investing in all of these projects to look at dimming the sun, to reduce blah, 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 this rubbish. And now, just last week, I think it was, another report has been issued saying, oh, there's grave concerns about this because foreign powers might be able to use it against us as an act of war.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And it's like, yeah, hello. Come on. No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah.
It's
mad.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. He's mad.
Yeah, but
So-
it,
I
there,
think
seems,
yeah.
there seems to be several groups at play here. You know, some who think, oh, yeah, let's dim the sun. Oh, and the other lot say, oh, we need more sunlight to power the renewables, the renewable revolution. So I guess they're battling. I don't know. Who knows
Well,
what's going on behind?
I heard an interesting fact, I suppose you could call it. It was a clip from something going on in Congress, some committee hearing or something about climate, and one of the guys was actually questioning this woman who's going on about climate and this, that, and the other. And he said to her, "Do you know how much of the Earth's atmosphere is actually carbon dioxide?" And of course, she didn't know. The climate specialist didn't know. And they're all hazarding a guess, like, oh, 7%, 5%, 10%. And he came back and said, no, it's actually 0.04% of
Yeah,
the Earth's
yeah.
atmosphere. It's carbon dioxide. It's recently risen, apparently from 0.3%, right? But if it goes below 0.2%, then all of the plant life is going to start dying out that relies on carbon dioxide.
Isn't that what they want?
Well, it would seem so. It would appear, because then when the plants go, we go, because they give us oxygen.
That's right. And you can
yeah.
bet they've got dums and oxygen cylinders and oxygen supplies. You bet they'll be all right.
Yeah, I've heard stories that there are underground cities waiting for them in the event of such a thing happening.
Yeah. Have you ever read Ozone by Paul Theroux? It's a great sci-fi novel. It's
No.
sort of it's basically about the elite. It's a bit like Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, but the elite live in these fortified cities outside of the wild spaces, and they have helicopter trips like tourists into these areas. And yeah, it reminds me so much science fiction. You know, both film and book, and story and novel, etc. Are really weirdly predictive because writers, they're imaginative. They think about these things, you know.
Well, I will impose on you, Viv, and say next time we get together, next time we come up to see you, I might just be cheeky and ask to borrow one or two books off you.
Yeah, of course you can, mate.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
of course you can.
Good reading material. And you will get them back. Don't worry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I've read it. Nah, I won't be like that. I know what you're saying, but I won't be like that. No, because
I can imagine
I'll
you
just
looking
buy
for
them.
some
I'll just buy them
in your
again.
library. I'll borrow a book off you 2 weeks later. You'll be lost in your librry going, now where did I put that book? I knew I had a copy of that book. Where's it gone?
I know I do that. I actually do that, and I reorder them. I realise, oh, it's in that suitcase that I haven't unpacked. Okay.
I must admit, for a dyslexic, it's the most intimidating house to come to. Every room was just books. I was like, oh no, I'm surrounded by letters and words. It's like,
I know. I know. I'm sorry about that. God. Yeah, I know. It. I don't mean to be intimidating.
No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
I know you are. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. A lot of people don't have books, and I understand that. I understand it.
No, and you must have been collecting those books for a long. Sorry, Bronze, but you've got loads of them.
All my life. I don't know how many I've got. I don't know how many.
Yeah, don't count them. That'll take you ages. That'll take you 2 years.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
I am starting to get interested back into reading because I've just begun a speed reading course, and last night I read War and Peace in 15 seconds. I know it's only 3 words, but I'm still a beginner.
Oh right, yeah.
Very, very good, very good. No, that's good. Oh God, it's the joke time. Shit, I haven't prepared.
Of course you haven't.
Talking about books, my favourite mythical creature. Do you know what my favourite mythical creature is?
No, go on.
The honest politician.
Hey, no, I like that.
Very mythical.
It's a joke
and a creature. Yeah,
it's a joke and a creature and a true observation.
Indeed, yeah.
Oh God, I can't top these. I really can't.
Yeah, Viv. This is a monster of your own creation because you started it with your with your grape joke, and so you got to own it. Unfortunately, now
the great
you
joke.
can't let me and 4D do all the heavy lifting.
Oh God!
In fact, we're going to have to go, guys, because I think my wife's just found out I swapped our bed for a trampoline. She half hit the roof.
Oh yes.
Yeah, my girlfriend poked me in the eyes, and so I stopped seeing her for a while.
Oh God!
And I just want to make another announcement to the person who stole my antidepressants. I hope you're happy now.
Oh,
Oh, I can't believe it.
two fish sitting in a tank. One fish looks at the other fish and says, "Here, you don't know how to drive this thing, do you?"
Oh, that's good. I can't compete with this. I cannot.
It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming for Viv, isn't it?
It is.
The lowering of the tone.
It's not the lowering of the tone at all. It's not at all. I love a joke. I bought some shoes from a drug dealer once. I don't know what he laced them up with, but I was tripping all day. Okay.
Nice one. Nice one.
It's not that good, is it? I mean, I wouldn't buy anything with Velcro anymore. You know why? It's a total rip-off.
Describing a liberal is just a conservative that hasn't been mugged yet.
Oh yeah, but that. I think that might be that's quite old. That one that goes back to the Reagan era, I think.
Oh really? Oh, you actually know a fact on a joke? That's even better.
Well, I think quite a few liberals these days get mugged, but they're just in denial about it. That's the problem.
Denial is not a river in Egypt.
Yes. My wife thinks it's weird that I stare at the window during a heavy downpour. I told her it'd be a lot less weird if she just let me in.
That's true.
Oh dear! Oh God! Last week. I realised I was reduced to sausage roll jokes, and in the dusty corners of my mind, telling my kids things like, "What do you call a one-eyed dinosaur? Do you think he saw us?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're relying on the dusty corners of your mind, Viv, for your jokes now. I think you need to up your game a bit and spend 5 minutes on the internet. That's what I do.
That's the only reason I had a couple this week.
Yeah, that's the only reason I have any week.
Oh gosh.
Actually, right, last one, because I quite like this. I saw this one, I quite like it. So, smoking will kill you. Bacon will kill you. But smoking bacon will cure it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. That is good. Okay. Well, I'm looking at. I'm actually on the internet now because I can. I'm looking at liberal jokes.
Oh right. They're specifically liberal jokes. Love it.
Yeah. I am. Yeah. How to confuse a liberal? You don't. They're born that way. What do you do when you offer a liberal a penny for his? What do you do when you offer a liberal a penny for his thoughts? Ask him for the change.
How do you confuse a liberal? Take him into a round room and tell him to sit in the corner. Tumbleweed.
Oh dear. No, it's not tumbleweed. It's just, oh dear. These liberal jokes. Oh my God. I should go back to the dad jokes, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What do you call a basement full of liberals? A wine cellar.
Oh,
wine,
right. Yeah.
Wine. Yeah. What is foreplay for a liberal? 30 minutes of begging.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. All right, everyone. I promise I'll be more cheerful next week.
That's all right, Viv. That's all right. Don't
Yeah.
worry about
All right, we will
Nah,
hold
I'm
you
all
to that then.
it. Yeah, I can't promise that I'll be more cheerful next week though.
Well, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? As they say.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed the world will still be here next week for us to do another show. That's all I keep saying to myself.
Yeah.
I know it will be here, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah,
What you
of
said
course it
earlier,
will.
I think it's quite right. You know, I mean, we're not facing nuclear Armageddon, but we are facing a shit show. So, you know.
And we'll be here to tell you all about it and then tell you a few jokes just to clear it up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, people. All the very best to you. Love and blessings.
I hope things improve for you.
Yeah, cheers, man. Of course I will. Of course.
Don't let it ruin your life.
Yeah, no, I won't. No, don't mind.
Right,
Have a
fellas.
good one, guys. Yeah. Night.
Yeah.
Good time. Anyway, listen, it's 20 to 9 already, so maybe we should get going.
Oh God. Bloody hell.
Oh yeah, oh god,
Oh, Mrs. Oh no.
Yeah. All her
All
down
right.
at number 36. Did you hear about her?
Oh no.